Welcome to the May Zoom of the Jaffna Club. Today we will have the CEO of 3-Axis Labs. We'll talk about the impacts of artificial intelligence. So here I have the contact details for Prasanth. They will be up again at the end. So the objective of the club. So I go through this every time for people who are watching for the first time, particularly people watching the recordings. The club will facilitate, foster and support social intercourse and fellowship among its members. It will build a network of members and non-members that can work together to promote the economic development of the Northern Province. What is the club for? The club is a catalyst to help people like us connect with each other, help people like us connect with Northern entrepreneurs and business opportunities. So the reason I say it's a catalyst is the club does not raise funds, it does not donate funds, it has no intention of setting up any businesses. Our objective is to link other people and help other people to do this. And we've been successful in that. We've been running every month without fail since September 2020. So I will slowly scroll across this so people can see who we've had since September 2020. So this, I'd said, is a who's who of people who are interested in investing and promoting the economic development in Jaffna. We've had two governors. Last month, we had Ms. Subenderan, the current governor. We've had academics, we've had bankers, we've had lawyers, as well as the entrepreneurs and the investors. As I say, last month, we had Mr. Subenderan. The month before, we had Jasmine Francis, the Vani Cashew CEO, who I just mentioned. The month before, we had Shanti Bhagitharan, who was one of the leaders of the Northern Investment Summit 2026, which is still progressing. It still has its strategy in motion. So now I will pass over to Prasanth Subenderan, CEO of 3-Axis Labs, who will talk about the impact of AI. Now, I've seen AI, everyone is talking about it. Most people are worried about it. It's had a massive impact, particularly on the technology sector, even now, and it will have massive impacts, I think, in every sector. So it's important for us to know this. So Prasanth, if you want to take over.
Sure. Let me share my screen now. My screen visible, Jagan?
I can't see your screen.
Right.
So let me stop my share and then see if you can start your share.
I can see the screen.
Yeah, I can see yours. Good. You're on.
Okay, great. Yeah, great. Okay. Thanks, Jagan and Jaffna Club for having me and for this opportunity to present about AI. So what really it makes for our life on a day-to-day life as a software engineers. I'm going to mainly talk about how it is actually helping and impacting on the software part because I come from a software background and I run a software company here in Jaffna. So 3-Axis Labs is what we do. So I'm Prasanth Subenderan, CEO of 3-Axis Labs and co-founder, one of the co-founder. So what I want to talk about the real day-to-day usage of AI in our company. So this is not just any hype or anything, what you see in internet or the future of anything, just the reality of what how we are using the AI on our day-to-day operations in our company. So this, okay. So let me start this one. So we we were doing software development services in since 2021 to 2024 December. So then we realized when ChatGPT and LLM models were coming, so we thought this software development cost is going to reduce. And since our customers are mostly from the diaspora community that time, so we thought this is going to reduce the revenue we are going to get. So we decided to jump on to another boat where we saw an opportunity. We can make the product from Jaffna with the engineers and the resources we have, we already had in our 3x's team. So we decided to start a AI application, AI product, which is which is mind map AI. It's an AI mind mapping product. So I'll show you how mind mapping works in a minute. And we are competing with already existing players in the mind mapping market like XMind, MindMapper, and Simple Mind. So I'll show how our product works. You can see the screenshot. This is what a mind mapper is called. This is introduced by Tony Buzan from UK. So he actually popularized this concept in 1970s. And since then, a lot of people started to use this to understand complex problem and consume information. So let me switch my screen to the mind mapping application for a time, and then I'll come back. Let me share the full. Okay. Okay, this is our mind mapping application. So we developed this. So the home page you are seeing actually, these things are not possible. They weren't possible in the past actually for for us actually. These kind of qualities and all these things, we can't design this without AI. So what you see is actually designed by AI. I'll show you how we designed that as well in a bit of in short time. And this is a home page we developed. So this is a redesigned home page. We heavily leveraged the AI design to design this. This is not something our UI UX designer designed this. This is designed by actually by me, but we designed this using the design tool provided by AI. So what you see is the home page designed by AI, and this product is developed to create mind maps, AI mind maps. So for example, we can create a mind map for example, let's say create a info Jaffna's IT ecosystem, something like that. So then it will actually give you the concept in a mind map. So this is used by more than signed up by more than 700,000 users, and a lot of users are using from all around the world. It's a B2C product. So you can get a mind map from the AI. So this is the product we have, and we have all the customization to do. That's not the focus now. So let me come back to the design part now. Okay. So let's go to this subject called, sorry, let me go to my, is there any way to hide this one? I don't know. Okay. So there is a tool called Claude. All of you might have heard about it. So in our company, we provide license to everyone. So some senior developers are having the max plan, and all of our other developers and other team members, including the marketers, all of us have Claude and ChatGPT subscription. So since we are a 15 people team, so it's we are able to afford this but I'm not sure about the people who have 100 people, how they are going to manage that because it's very expensive. Um, okay, so this Claude has a design tool here. So if you go to the design, so it will ask, so these are the designs I have done. So you can see, for example, the home page design, or let me show you one design. Okay. Okay. We are redesigning our footer actually. So we redesign this footer using AI. So you can see all the chat we have made here in this. I think you can see my screen. So I'm scrolling the chat actually. So it's kind of living with AI, talking with AI. So it's actually give all these when we ask AI, so it's actually produce this design. So otherwise, what we have to do is we have to go to a designer, and the designer has to, we have to explain the concept to the designers, and the designer has to then translate it to the UI design using Figma or something. But with the AI, actually, I'm able to do this without a designer because our designer is sick, and she couldn't attend for a long time to our company. So we couldn't hire another designer replacing her. So I had to take the responsibility of designing these pages. So this Claude design is one of the tool recently introduced by Claude. It is not something very old, introduced last year, so it was introduced this year. So this design is very helpful to design all the pages. So I'll show you a couple of other examples as well. This is our um, wait, okay. This is our blog page design. So this is not the actual one. These are designs. So if you are familiar about software industry, you know how valuable the design is before we start the development. So the design part is done by the Claude design. So we heavily leverage this Claude design tool. Recently, they have improved a lot in the tokens as well. So we can use the same credit usage, which is actually provided for the development and other Claude, normal Claude as well. So we can, it's compared now. So it's we get maximum out of what we pay. And you can do, okay, I'll show you some other designs. So we redesigned our chat box actually. We initially had a different chat box. So we brainstormed and we came to, we asked AI to design a different chat box actually. I don't know whether I have that file here. Okay, I'll show you the chat box here. So this is the chat box we have now. So this is completely redesigned using AI. So the initial chatbot was different behavior. So we went to Cloud Design and we gave all the details. And then we asked to redesign it. And then it gave the full complete redesign. So which would have taken a designer maybe a month or more than that. So this is how we work on the design part. I'll go back to my presentation again. Okay, then so before that, okay, so I just actually jumped in. So I'll come to this slide later. So the code might, so another things we work is actually, so since we are a developer company, so we use Cloud Code and Codex on a daily basis to develop our software. So we use, we use VS Code, and then using the VS Code, the Cloud Code can be used or Codex can be used. All our software engineers, as I said, they have the subscription, paid subscription. The free one is not going to work because even for the paid one, if you pay the $25, you will hit the usage limit very easily. So you need a $100 plan or $125 plan to sufficiently work on without killing the productivity of the developer. And we heavily use the cloud code that actually make our development fast and effective. And then we were requiring more software engineers in the past, but then we realized, and rather than hiring new software engineers, empowering our existing software engineers using these tools actually maximize the investment. So we are getting more ROI than hiring a new software engineers. So we don't need, you know, 20 software engineers to develop this kind of products these days. So we can use existing current software engineering size. And then another example is the code migrations. So we were using Intercom for 1 year and it was free. Then we came to a situation that we had to pay $450 per month. So we decided not to pay that. So we want to reduce the cost and we migrated to Soho Desk. So what happened is Soho Desk is easy, but the problem is migration. Those days migrations are very hard because you need a developer to write the software, the migration scripts to transfer all your data to Zoho. So what I did is, so I went to Claude and I went to, I'll show you the examples again here. I hopefully have this in my chat. Wait. Okay, so these are all the chats. I'm very transparent here. So these are all the chat we have. Okay, here it is. So this is the migration thing we worked. So it's actually, so when I tell the problems to Claude, you can see so when you go back and check the chat, it's very hard. But so what I actually did is I went to Claude and then I asked Claude to write a script, migration script from the intercom data to Soho. So it understood the intercom data and how the intercom data structures is organized. And then it actually understood the Soho data structure and then also understood how the Soho APIs are worked from the public documentation. And it actually wrote the Python script. These kind of things would take actually maybe a month even for a developer. If you think in the past, so they might have to go through the integration. So intercom documentation, intercom. So for anyone, if you don't intercom is a support ticket management, the customer support ticket management software. And what I was trying to do is to migrate to another support system, customer support software, which is called Soho Desk. So if you take this, the point I'm going to make here is for a developer in the past, even for a senior developer, it would take a month or maybe a lot of time to actually understood the intercom's data pattern and then the Zoho data pattern and then APIs and the writing that Python script and testing and all these things. But actually this took me a day or two to do this. So, and myself, I'm not a developer. So if I am able to do this, a software engineer would do it more than me actually. So these are the use cases we use in our at our company on a day-to-day basis. A lot of things. So we lean on AI very much, and get the code script development and these things. And then the other thing is so this one. This image is actually generated by AI. I don't know whether you believe it or not. So this image is actually generated by AI. So in the past, image generation was not that much good, but in the very recent, ChatGPT introduced this image generation part. So where you can actually go and ask the image generation and it will give you the image. So the prompt is very easy. Maybe I can show you a live demo of what I'm trying to say here, which is easier than wait, is easier than talking. 1 second. So let me go to my so what I'm going to say do is I'm going to my release notes, the feature release. I'm going to just take a okay, this one. So this is a feature we released where the outline support. So maybe maybe we can where this one image improvements legacy. Okay, theme selection update. Okay, no, I'll pay. Okay, I'll take this one, team plan and organization workspace. So we introduced this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say create a social media image for symbol. So you can improve the prompt when you work on a daily basis. But for this purpose, I'm just pasting this whatever I copied from the release notes. So this is actually creating the image for this social media image for the. So you don't have to go to Canva and design your. So those days, even it's actually changed very recently. We were leaning on Canva very much than this one, but now we changed our approach and we are using this one to create our social media images. So we don't go back to Canva. So Canva is you have to manually drag and drop, which is very useful than Photoshop. But now, uh, why should we go to Canva when we can create the image in one prompt? Okay, so it's actually cooking. Okay, let me see. Okay, this one. So can you believe? So it will actually take again. So it actually took me maybe less than 2 minutes, right? So, but if you want to do this in Canva, of course, the designer will or the graphic designer will spend a lot of time adjusting these images and getting the screenshot and all these things and getting the visuals on a professional basis is very hard actually. So this actually, so now I can prompt track and give the feedback to AI and improve the image if I need. Okay, let me go back to the presentation again. I'm going here and there because I want to show you the practical usage of AI rather than just telling it. And then uh, we heavily depends for the content writing of our pages as well. That is another case. So I'll go to I'm not going to show a demo, but I can show you the blogs we write. So all these blogs we use the AI to write the content. Otherwise it's not possible because if you know, in the past, we struggle a lot to even to when we were doing 3x labs, we struggled a lot to develop write a case study or blog or anything because it takes a lot of energy. You need to have a good English and then you need to have a good understanding of what you are going to actually write. And then even if you have good English and what you are going to write, then you need a extra skill which a few have, like Jahan. You need to know how to tell this story. We don't have. It's very rare to find that kind of people who can write the content in a way, and it's even very difficult to find the technical writers. So these days it is not that hard because you can write these contents very easily. We don't use manual writing anything, but we prompt and we write these contents using the AI. Okay. Uh, then, okay, we also use this we create videos, and for the video as well, we need scripts to create the videos. Uh, so for that script, that's kind of another different skill, right? So how to start this video and how the each frame is going to work. So we go back to AI and we ask for the script of this video we do. Okay, then coming back, sorry, moving to the other one. So we use okay, we have a lot of customer support data and search console data. I can't show this in real time because these are sensitive data, but we take these data and analyze these data for any anomalies or any patterns or improvements. So for example, we take the customer support data in bulk and we ask what are the features requested by these customers and what are the complaints these customers are making, how we can improve. All these things we do using this data. You can either connect to an MCP or you can download that file as a CSV and you can put it to the AI and you can ask any questions you want. And the other thing we use is okay, these are kind of not something on a software company, but we on admin level we use to create accounts and all these things. I'll show you some. Anyway, I can't show you some practical. I can show you. Yeah, I can show you the. Okay, this one for example. So these things are actually. So if you go to the okay, this is a folder. I'll show you the folder. So these are the folder. So this is the folder we have, and within the folder, what I have is I don't know. You can see. So all the statement. If it is a credit card statement, I put that credit card statement within that, and then if it is a payroll or bills, anything, bank statement, everything, CSV format. You can see all the bank statements are here, and payroll is here. What I do is I actually give the permission to AI to access that folder, and then I'm asking to do the what do you call the accounts. So it will actually give all these things within a short time rather than working on. Then you can actually pass it to uh, the QuickBooks or anything if you want, but you can quickly understand what's happening, processing the data, which is very easier than before. If you have the data in CSV, so because otherwise it's very hectic to go through all the bank statement and the credit card statement and everything manually and categorizing it and all these sort of things. Um, and then if someone sends, so these are some personal examples. So if someone sends an investment proposal, recently I got an investment proposal to invest on some sort of scheme from bank. And then what I did is I actually fed that to AI, and then I asked, given the current interest rate and the economic situation and all things, is this really worth to invest or not? Uh, that actually gave putting that money is not worth because the interest rates are going up, and this is a return you are getting from this investment, and they are locking you for this period, and also closes and it analyzes everything and give back the output in a way we can easily understand. Otherwise, we would be wasting the time to go through and read the document manually. Uh, those things are saved currently at the moment. And we analyze the striped revenue data, which is also a CSV data. We can connect through, you can, using AI, actually, the benefit is you have connectors here. So you can connect your data through the apps here. So then you don't have to even go back to that system and get the data. You can directly connect and directly ask it here. So a lot of connectors are here. So I'll show you some connectors. So all these developers, all these tools are actually providing the connectors to Claude and ChatGPT, everyone, because there's no other way, because they have to give it. And when they give it, it's easy for us to connect within by clicking a button and then analyzing the data. So whatever the tools you are working, you can actually connect and do the things. So for example, if I'm using QuickBook, it should be there. I don't know. Right. Yeah, here it is. So if someone is using QuickBooks for accounting, so they can connect the QuickBooks and ask the question, and it will actually fetch the QuickBook data and give you the answers. You don't have to. And if you can connect the email and get the answers from your emails, what are the in the last 3 months, what are the emails I got and what type of emails or kind of things. Okay, going back to the slides. This is something practically I have seen in our company. So this is, so you can, the AI, using AI is important in the current time being, but how to use and the outcome is different for different people actually. So the two engineers, they can get the same explanation from the AI for the same task, but they will have different outcome. The problem is one will actually, they will read the answers and they might understand every word because they come from a software engineering background. It might be same for any other fields as well. But then they move on with the answers given by AI. That doesn't mean the AI is always correct. So you need to actually stop and think and correlate with what you have actually learned and in the past or based on your experience. You need to actually correct it, and then AI will come with different answer. So you are the responsible person for the outcome, not AI. So if you 100% rely on AI, uh, which hasn't happened yet, as of now, you have to have a human on the loop to go through, especially for development. So when you get an outcome from the AI for the development, you need to actually read the output of that AI, and then you need to understand whether this will work or not. Otherwise, uh, you will actually create a pull request and it will go to the production, and then the production will break. So that is for sure. And the risk for the major the risk is high when this kind of AI tools is given for a intern or junior developers, because if they don't understand the concept very well, and if they don't understand what the AI is actually generating, and they will just push the code to the production, and then it will be a disaster. So so I would encourage a senior developer is actually reviewing the pull request before it actually made into the production. So this is um, the best workflow we can do as of now. But AI might improve in the future, and we might not need maybe a human in the loop as well. But it will take some time. Okay. Then where this judgment is actually come from actually? So is it from, so people, I have made it into two categories. So people who can understand the concept and the structure is one people. So they know how the software system work and what is the database and what's the server is, and they will have an idea from their academic. But there is this empirical layer, so which actually you need to it will come from your practical experience and or your problem solving skills and analytical skills. So you need to improve your analytical skills and all these problem solving skill. Otherwise, it's very hard for you to survive with this AI, because whoever have that skill will actually run faster than you. That will leave you behind in this space. Especially the software field is um, uh, heavily leveraging AI. So other fields are still adapting it, but software field is heavily leveraging the AI. So I'm telling this for all the software people to look into this understanding. And then, so what are the skills that is going to make you help using the AI to get a better outcome? So the first is you need to frame the problem correctly. So you need to understand what you actually need rather than just prompting. The prompt is very important part here, uh, because if you don't prompt correctly, then the outcome is going to be low. So if you put garbage, you will get a garbage actually. So healthy skepticism is so every output you have to read it as a draft. Then you have to go through, and you are the one who need to approve it. And then judgment. You need to have a skills to verify whether this is right or not. Otherwise, it's very difficult to work with AI. And you need to break it down means you need to if you have if you're doing a big system, and you need to understand, you need to able to break it down into small pieces, and then you need to fit that pieces. You need to have the ability to breaking it to small pieces. Otherwise, it's very difficult. You can't just ask, I want a taxi hailing system. Just build it. It is not going to build you, because that's not going to work with AI. Because a taxi hailing system, for example, like some sort of Uber, is not just it can't be built by actually just one prompt. If it can happen, anyone can do this, right? So it's not going to work. And then iterate and push back. So you need to again, you need to stop and you need to review. You can ask AI couple of options, and then you need to ask for better output from the AI. Then it will give different output, and then you can iterate and get the best output. So the home page design, or the intercom to Zoho migrations, or the code development, whatever you see is didn't come from just one prompt. I have shown you the chat, right? So it will take a lot of chat with AI to get the output, the very good output. And taste is actually, you need to know what a good outcome will look like. It can be image which we generated minutes ago, or it can be the design, website design, or the code, or anything. You need to have a good taste. Then only you will actually able to judge the outcome of the AI. And then on the results, we need to have a mentality that as of now, still we haven't gone to that level that we can 100% rely on AI, but you are the responsible for the results. So you can't just come and say, okay, this is developed by AI. I didn't check the outcome. So it is you actually going to be responsible for the results. And the rule is actually you have to use AI as a tutor and not vending machine. So when I say so, you need to what is a tutor. So you learn and then you improve, not just getting from a vending machine. Just okay, whatever it gives, you take it. So we can't do that at this moment, but in the future, maybe not now. Okay, so what it means for the jobs and skills, and so is there still a software developer? Yes, of course, 100%. But also it actually raises the floor for juniors. They can do more if they understand these concepts very well, and if they are able to use AI assisted technologies, they can do more, to be honest, rather than a person who invested 5 years of learning these development craft or the job. A junior can actually catch up if they really invest their time on the core fundamentals and the quality and the output. But again, the person who invested on 5 years can actually get a boost of 5x, 10x because of this AI as well, again. So it actually helps for the juniors as well as the seniors. So still there is a software developer because AI can't just code it. So you can't just, as I said, we can't just get a taxi hailing system using one prompt. A software developer is needed to create it. And the danger for the next generation is they really lean on AI from day one, from the university level. Then they might miss the understanding the concept, because it's easy to do the assignment using AI, right? So you can just feed the assignment and you will get the output. You will just submit it. You will get 100 out of 100 because because of that you will miss understanding the real learning at the university level. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is again the hands-on empirical hands-on work for the empirical layer. So understanding the real how the real software is working. So if you go to a software company as an intern, then if you use AI, and if you don't understand why AI is giving this output, but it will work, then you will be missing that empirical layer. Then you will at some point you will realize that you can't go beyond that position. Then so the problem is the judgment will lose because AI will give a couple of options, and you will pick one options, and you will see, but your own judgment will decay as we heavily use the AI. So that's another challenge we have for the next generation of people. But whoever worked in the past in the software engineering field, they don't have this problem because they already went through that hassles of learning these layers and the skills. But for the future software developers, it will be challenging if they don't carefully consider these points. And then people can prompt, actually. Anyone can prompt. Even whoever have a subscription for Claude or a Claude Code or Codex or anything, they can actually prompt. But the problem is, it is not going to give you the accurate output. And then the problem is you will miss, as I said, I'm going back to the taxi hailing problem. So you can give the prompt and get it. But again, it is not going to be the output actually. You need to understand again how the fundamentals works. Yes, prompting is not going to help, but prompting is important to work with AI, but prompting only is not going to help. So if you rely on prompting for everything, that is also a danger because you will never understand the core fundamentals. The competition has changed. So I'm talking about the service industry. So mainly the Western firms who uh, who came to Asian countries for the low cost headcount, but these days they are leveraging the AI subscription and they don't need much engineers, and they want to keep the engineers close to their customers, and that is now possible. So that's a threat actually for the software development agencies in the region, because those days cheap labor is one of the mode we had to survive getting projects from the Western countries, because the cost of software development is high there. But these days, as I said, a senior developer can improve their capacity to 5x to 10x. Because of that, there will be a disruption in that area. And then now the opportunity is also a small team can build softwares. And in the industry, even I have seen examples. So small teams are winning contracts from these big enterprises, because what these enterprises are actually considering on a meritocracy basis rather than sales team kind of things. So it's small, as I said, uh, a small team with good developers can actually build products very fast than the large corporations with hundreds of engineers. So what customers are now expecting is low cost, as I said, and shorter time to uh, get the output. No, they are not going to wait for 6 months or 1 year to see the output of the software being developed. So they want it to be done as much as possible. So maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months time being of the deliverables. It's not just the software again. It's actually impacting all the areas. Legal is impacted very much. Finance is impacted. Healthcare, retail, education, all sort of fields are actually getting impacted. The first one got impacted is software, because that's where the the they are easily getting that knowledge of software developers and assisting it, and they are getting the revenue. These big AI companies are getting that revenue from the subscription of these tools, but they are coming for other industries as well. If it is not them, someone else will come actually with a lot of softwares for these different industries. So the jobs and roles, again, some of the jobs are gone actually. Content writers, as I said, for example. So I'm not looking for a content writer, to be honest, these days. So kind of those things have gone because we expect the product managers to write the content themselves, or the software engineers themselves to write the content of the technical documentation. So it's easy for them rather than passing that knowledge to someone else. Designers, again, the design is something I don't know how it is going to affect, because this cloud design has changed a lot. So those days we needed high-end quality designers to develop these kind of homepage design, which I showed to you. But now we don't need them at all. So that is another challenge on the software. And software developers also, we don't know the future again, because people are there are rumors that AI is going to, on an iterative basis, itself is going to improve, and they are going to, I mean, if you ask AI, it will iteratively improve and come to a very good output, rather than the human on the loop is giving the feedback. That is another rumors are going. But if we are going into that path, then software engineering jobs also will be in challenge. And so again, so if you have the knowledge is not something we need at the moment with the AI. Knowledge can be get from these AI tools, because that's how it's being trained from the data. But what we need is the judgment and outcome oriented people to work with AI. So practical takeaways. So business owners, you can automate a lot of things. If you see anything repetitive in your company, so you can ask AI to do the first thing, and then you can repeat it or automate it. And then using your AI agents or in other ways, you can automate for sure. And the students, they have to have a deep foundation anyway. Without that, AI is not going to help in any ways. And the parents, though, they want to want their kids about the competence trap. So it's not about prompting. So they have to encourage for them to understand the foundation anyways. So as I said, it is read AI. Sorry.
No, carry on, carry on.
Okay, sorry. Okay, that's the final end of the slide. So if I'm happy to answer any practical questions or what we do at the company, rather than theories.
Prasanth, can I ask you three questions? Well, I was going to ask you three questions. You have answered already two of those questions because it's mostly towards the end of the demo you started to say about the negative things going to impact in our life, the AI, which is the developers, impact on developers and various other things. So I have written off the other two questions. The question I got, the first question, which was, we got all these developments and everything going on. Being, you don't have to answer. If you feel it's a conflict of interest, you don't have to
Yeah.
answer. You don't have to be more transparent with me. How are we going to market our product? Because there people are coming along and putting the junior developers, and they were eager to develop an application, thinking, hooray, we are associated developers and all that. All this product, how are we going to market it? Who is going to buy our product? It's like a farming, isn't it? We cultivate so many plants and vegetables and nobody to buy it. But if you wish, you can answer it. That's I'm battling because I've been in this industry for 33 years. I have seen one of the good company been sold 3 times, and the company reached the end of life. Thank God, I got Oyster Group of company. I'm not just a software developer. Unfortunate, I secure my investment internally rather than relying on the creditors or the investors. I secure myself. But how a software company on its own going to stand on its leg if they can't sell the product? Have you got any answer for that? It's up to you.
That's a very good question. So building is one thing and selling is another thing.
Yeah.
Actually, without selling, building is not going to work, right?
Yeah.
So now the building has come to a cheap cost, actually. So anyone can build very fast and on a cheap cost. But selling is the part. So it depends again on the product we are building, whether it is a B2B product or whether it is a B2C product. But for our B2C product, it works very well because B2C, we can leverage the search engine optimization and the digital marketing aspect of it. So that is why it is working. But if it is a B2B, then it is all about relationships and people. And so that's what I understand. So for your industry, I don't know how this is working, but for us, the B2C, the selling part is on the SEO side. We are leveraging organic. When we rank for our keyword, for example, if you take MindMap AI, so MindMap AI is a search term in the internet. People are still searching for MindMap AI as we talk. And what we actually do is actually we rank for that keyword within 10 within 10 results or within top 10 results, we have to be there. So we are doing all what it takes to be within the top results of that. So we produce a lot of content, we get backlinks, we increase our domain ranking, we work with affiliates, all sort of things to write about us. We produce video contents. So we are trying to be in the B2C, not B2B.
Unfortunately, I'm B2B, so
Okay.
I don't have a voice. I have a 20 more years customers paying subscription for over the 20 years, but I'm more concerned about people starting up a software firm, like a web developer, how they're
Yeah.
going to survive, and they are living in a false hope, especially in Sri Lanka. In northern, I noticed there's so many companies are starting, or we are software developers, and just sitting back and thinking about what they're going to do with their product, with the help of, without any algorithm or knowledge, or they just use the AI to create tools and applications and everything. They got nowhere to sell it, isn't it? That's really
True.
worrying trend. Looking at it, it's a bit of damaging to established software firms, because these guys not going to go and work for established firms. They're starting up their
Yeah.
own business, thinking they are going to be a entrepreneur one day. And I may be offending somebody, Jahan, my apologies, but that's a reality. I'm seeing it. They must have a good knowledge, but I don't want to see them like ruining their life for 3 years, 5 years, and thinking, oh my goodness, what's the future for me? Especially if they can't sell the product, isn't it? So they need to make sure that they can sell the product. I don't want to take too many of the time. I'm done, Jürgen. Okay, I'm
Okay,
going to
thank
mute.
you. I mean, just so
Okay.
that people are aware, Bala has hundreds of clients in the UK and he employs 100 plus people in Jaffna and in Trincomalee. So just to give a bit of background there. So Vasi, you have your hand up.
Yeah, Prashant, what does it cost to make a product from your context? You know, you have been talking about making producing and selling, right?
Yeah.
What will it cost to make a product? If you can give an example from your experience, and what kind of expertise you need to make it happen. Does it make sense,
Okay.
Brangada?
Yeah, I can understand. So
Yes.
I will say still we develop the software. So every day we develop this software. There is no fixed one time thing. You can develop the software for 3 months and then you can uh, relax. So it's like you have to improve the product because competition is there always. The competitors will come up with different features and different options. So because of that, we have to continue to develop the software every single day as of now. We have been doing this for almost 15, 16 months. Uh, so the course is like whatever it takes for our team. It depends on the software again, but I would say if you have any plans to develop a software or product, a software product, so it's better to develop in 3 months and see, as Oslan said, or I'm sorry, Bala said. So you need to start selling and see whether there is a demand for that software and fail fast. Then you can think. Otherwise, if you sell the software, then of course you will have cost continuously to improve the product. There's no one time cost.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Sean.
Yeah, brilliant talk. Very well structured. I love your 10 rules. What's interesting is that this is a disruptive technology, just in the same way as electricity was and steam and so on. And we ended up with institutes of civil engineer, institutes of electrical engineer. Do you think that there is a formation of general ground rules, like you have explained with your 10 rules, that would allow for there to be some kind of self-help group people, possibly in Sri Lanka, I mean, obviously I'm from the UK, that could actually put together what would be the beginnings of an institute of AI or whatever? Or has it already been done?
I am not sure whether any institution or any sort of institutes forming in related to AI. But what I have seen is existing IT related institutes are taking this seriously and they are talking about it and they are advocating for this. Like
Yeah,
Jaffna Club, it's actually promoting. So Jahan invited to talk about AI because we were having a conversation a month ago. So we mostly talked about how this AI is working at the moment. Because Jagan was telling he's using ChatGPT for a lot of things. So I was telling this is how we use the AI in our company. So that's how. So a lot of people are promoting it, but I don't know there is a uh, what do you call a formalized way
No.
uh, I haven't seen it in Sri Lanka.
Yeah. I think it's actually so removed from other institutes and other concepts, like, for example, British Computer Society or software development, that there are so many different skill sets that are different from that it almost merits rethinking this and starting from scratch. Obviously, import some of the stuff, but anyway, that's my view.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, don't you think that's not going to happen? I noticed last month the AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, somebody organized a competition amongst the all 5 AI tools, really. It's very unlikely it's going to get regulated, but because it's been developed from China, various other countries, it's going to be a very competitive thing, really. ChatGPT is failing compared to the other modern, like a cloud and all that, but it would be very difficult to regulate it. But
Yes, but all the more reason for people to come together and to learn from each other's experiences, because it is such a rapidly moving
yeah,
environment.
yeah, worrying, yeah.
Well, Sam, can I ask you? So you said for Jaffna, a place that can now build for the world, not just work for it.
Sorry?
What? Oh, you said in your speech,
Yeah.
you said Jaffna is a place that can now build for the world, not just work
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
For our training our young people, what do we need to do that's different? How do we prepare them? Because what I see is that the universities are very slow, changing their curricula very slow.
Yeah.
Maybe our private institutions are faster. But what is the key thing?
Okay, when I said that, actually, I actually took us as an example because the 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 friction has reduced building this, because so in the past, if you want to build a high complex softwares, if you want, like so the technical skills needed is high, but now, as I said, a senior developer can maximize 5x 10x. So if you have that kind of resources in your team, you can start building those kind of product even from Jaffna. So you don't need a complex. Sorry, you don't have to go to Colombo or some other part of the world. The other thing is the content production. So that came very easily for us, actually. So, and then whatever we need to do, so we don't have to have an a person who has already done this, because we can go to AI and ask all sort of knowledges we needed. So for example, if it is selling or marketing or how to improve our SEO, it will actually give you all the answers. So we don't have any excuses to build anything and sell anything. I'm talking again about the B2C part, because B2B need again connections and but B2C, so you can build the product and sell it. So building is also easy, and selling is, you can learn those skills rather than leaning on expertise on the marketing, or expertise on content writers, or expertise on uh, Google Search Console consultants, or anyone. You don't need anyone, actually. So you can learn it yourself and do these things. That is a huge advantage for us. So if you want to consider us as well, so if you take a team in some a developed country as a senior developer, but if you take us as a team in Jaffna as a junior developer, now the junior developers also can build this if you have the right foundation. So
Can I answer one more to your question?
Okay.
My opinion in relation to that, the parents after their A level or for maybe one further education, instead of pumping their money into the private institutes and schools and everything, they should really perhaps pay the money to 3x to train the people, and they get well educated from these guys rather than from the existing educational institute. I learned that from I get people come to do intern with me. When they leave, I trying to keep them to maximum, but the select institute and everything, they say they learn like a 2 years of work within 3 months, going to places like 3x. So in my opinion, really is a funny thing. they should pay Prasanth, not for the private institutes, really to educate these youngsters and have a bit of, that's what you need, really. It's not getting masters and going to the paying, like one of the guy who turned up yesterday from my village, he paid 1.5 million to a college. He had no knowledge, but I took him as a challenge. I know I only need 3 months to put him give him 3 years of education within 3 months. So that's we have to realize it. The Jaffna have to realize that we need institute to train people, not to educate academically. I'm only talking about the software industry, but the other ones, the
No,
lecturers
I too, I'm a big believer in on-the-job training.
yeah.
In my career in
Yeah.
IT,
Yeah.
that was the key thing for me.
Yeah, that youngsters need institutes where they can get the hands-on experience rather than academical experience or education, really.
Yeah, I'm going to allow 2 more questions. One of them is my sister. Now, she's a professor of physics at University College London. So
Right.
she will perhaps, anyway, let's leave it to her. So Anastasia.
Okay, thank you, Prasanth. I thought you made a very thoughtful presentation. And I do have an opinion about coming from university. I tell my students that whatever you learn in university, you're likely to use only 10% of what you've learned. The problem is you don't know which 10% it is. So as Prasanth has pointed out, it's really important to have a depth of knowledge as well as a breadth of knowledge. And there is a danger that if you go straight into training, you will be only taught how to make one widget. Well, you need the depth of knowledge that you're able to shift your hand to any other widget that's needed. I was very interested in your advice for the future for youngsters to learn how to oversee and audit what's happening. My actual question was, I was a bit alarmed about the unintended consequences when you were demonstrating how you could, as an example, take the bank statements of loads and loads of people and give them to AI to then sort it out on your behalf. And we know that these AI tools put everything into the cloud. And so you lose all that privacy and you lose your intellectual property rights as soon as you put things into the cloud. For example, when we are reviewing a paper, a scientific paper, we're not allowed to use AI tools because that paper is confidential until it's published. So I'd be interested to know how you stop the unintended consequence of a junior accidentally releasing everybody's private details into the cloud.
Okay, it's very good questions, and I understand the concern. So the bank statement thing actually I shown is not from different individuals, but it's from our company bank statements, one thing. So I am okay to share that with AI because we believe what they tell in the term and condition, because we are using a paid tools and they say they are not going to rain on our data. So we trust them and we take that as a word, and then we go and use those AI tools, because if we don't use that, we'll be left behind because of that time, and we have to move fast. Otherwise, someone else would do that, and that's the concern we have. But regarding the academic and about the new research and reviewing the paper, that I don't know, because that's a very concerned situation, because that's the future of research. And if you feed that into AI, and if someone feed that into let's say for a chat GPT or something, it will get trained and it will actually improve its knowledge. That compounding. So what happens is whenever you feed a document or information to AI, it actually improve its compound intelligence. So that's happening within the models. So every feedback you are giving to AI actually help the AI to improve its intelligence. So it's not going to reduce the intelligence, but it's going to. So it's very concerned thing that about that. I haven't thought about it that because for us actually it is okay. And we are taking the word from these paid tools that they don't, when we have a paid subscription, they don't train these data unless we opt in for that. But we don't know what they are actually do behind the doors.
Okay, thank you. If anyone has a question, I'll allow one more. Otherwise, we've actually run out of time. So I will now wind up. I will thank Prasanth. Very interesting presentation, very important presentation, particularly for those in the tech sector, but actually for everybody, because this is a real revolution. We don't know where it's going to end up. So thank you,
Yeah.
Prasanth. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Very interesting questions. And as usual, I will say good morning for our friends in New York. Lunchtime, I think, for our friends in the United Kingdom. Tea time here, or maybe gin time here. And good night to our friends in Australia. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Jagan. Thank you, Prasanth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Happy
Thank you, everyone.
Vesak.